Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Strapped in tight, ready, V8, symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast to champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower excel. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into the Premium Stock Car Racing League All-Star Race live from the beautiful Eldora Speedway. As drivers get ready to rumble here on the dirt track of Eldora for our All-Star afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we welcome you in. If you haven't already, please make sure, guys, do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. As Michael coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube, says, Peacemaker, give me a kiss. Oh, baby, you want a kiss? You want a kissy? You want a kiss, Michael? I'll give you a kiss, brother. I'll give you a kiss, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready for another amazing night of racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a great race, a great show here. These ARCA cars, not their regular NASCAR Xfinity rides that we see these drivers in. They are going to the ARCA cars here at the beautiful Eldora Speedway. And this night is powered by NJB Designs. You see that Bad Dragon Menards number 18 ride. That is the NJB Designs driver and painter out there on the speedway. Noah Blackwell, the egg roll himself, makes a lot of these paint schemes, does a fantastic job creating these paint schemes out there for a lot of these drivers. There's some out there right now. Behind him, you see Matthew Wood. You see that 31 of Dylan Carrier in that Phoenix Esports ride. All these drivers, they are built in. Their paint schemes are created by Noah Blackwell himself over there at NJB Designs. And we can't thank him enough for jumping in and putting on some money here for these drivers to be able to earn some money, some extra cash here this afternoon, and being the sponsor of this all-star race here this evening. So huge shout out to him, huge shout out to all of our other amazing sponsors down that bottom right, and we're gonna get ready to see if we can pull him up here into the booth. Let's see if we can get Noah up here for a quick little in-racer pre-race interview here. He's live over there, but we're gonna take him out of the live, and we're gonna move him up here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're gonna pull Noah up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Noah, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I got a copy.
Noah, man, getting ready to rock and roll here this afternoon. Now, I know you jumped in with the sponsorship here over at NJB Designs to put on some money here to make this race that much more interesting. Already being an all-star race, being on the dirt track here in these ARCA cars, man. What does it mean for you to be able to jump back in here as a sponsor, put some money on, and make this event that much bigger and better?
Yeah, it's always fun considering this is like a tradition at this point in the league. I mean, we hit our 2-year anniversary not too long ago, and I'm just glad to be able to put the money up for it. I was kind of hoping it would bring more people in, but most people are kind of busy this week and they don't really want to run it. But no, it's a big deal.
Absolutely, definitely a big deal. A lot of amazing drivers, a lot of amazing paint schemes out there created by yourself over there at NJB Designs as we see you rolling out there on the Speedway in that beautiful 18 machine on the racetrack, man. Take us for a bit of a lap here in these ARCA cars. Now, I know these things are new. They kind of just came into the sim. They're not the old ARCA cars like we used to have. You know, take us kind of through, you know, your guys' experience so far and how these things kind of handle out there on the dirt track and also, you know, even on the asphalt, man, as these things seem to be the hot topic right now for a lot of drivers.
I don't know about the dirt. That's more Gasty's neck of the woods. But they're very tight, but they're very fun. It's a little goofy with the damage model, but I mean, they're gonna fix that soon. But no, the track is really slick right now. The bottom's kind of coming in. It would have been better if we ran the bottom more, though, in the practice, because then it would have been even. But we're going to have to run this like this.
Yeah, so the track definitely going to be changing quite a bit. And for you guys, obviously you said, you know, Gaston, he was more of the dirt track guy. I saw Gaston for years over there on the dirt side of iRacing before I started to dip my toes into the asphalt side of things and seeing him be a part of this series and having fun on the asphalt. Now it's your guys' turn to kind of dip your toes into what his bringing up was here on the dirt track. And it's a whole different animal out there on the racetrack, man. We've seen it years past here with the, you know, Premium Stock Car Racing League, going from, you know, the asphalt to the dirt track, man. How do you come into an event like this, a race like this, and try to just be consistent and be fast out there on the speedway to give yourself an opportunity or a chance to win this race?
Obviously just running laps. I'm not good at dirt. I'm horrible at it. But I just know that you have to ride the wall to be fast. So I don't know. Gas is probably going to beat me. Either that or Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew obviously winning, I do believe, last year's Truck Series race. Was it Matthew or was it Gaston that won last year? Can't remember now. I know both of them are definitely a threat out there on the dirt track. They're going to be two tough competitors, and we're going to have fun watching you and all these other amazing drivers here on the Premium Stock Car Racing League try to put yourselves up into victory lane. But we wanted to pull you in, give you a quick little shout out there and a little interview pre-race here, knowing that you're coming in and dropping some money here, making this event that much bigger with the NJB Designs and making this race, you know, a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting for all those drivers.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, good luck out there, brother. I know you're about to hop out there for qualifying. Good luck, have some fun, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the booth later in this race.
Hopefully.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there we go. A quick word in from Noah Blackwell as he's able to give us a little insight there, not only on being a sponsor, we're coming into this series as a sponsor again and putting some money on for this event here for the All-Star race this afternoon, but also as a driver, a competitor out there on the racetrack, what he needs to do, what all these drivers need to do to try to be fast, to be consistent, and try to put themselves up and into victory lane. As Ragin' Cajun, what's good, Ragin' Cajun coming in, showing the love here in this one, says, yo, let's go. Gonna be a blast tonight. Yeah, tonight is going to be a heck of a blast. This is gonna be a lot of fun. These guys are gonna put on a hell of a show for us, says Land in Sea Racing, says, AL Peacemaker, Land in Sea, what's good, baby? What's good? How are you, brother? How you doing this afternoon? Hopefully Land in Sea having themselves a wonderful day here on the Saturday afternoon. How are you, my boy? Is Mama Bear Susie Dickinson coming in, showing the love love as well. Mama Bear, how are you, my girl? Mama Bear coming in, showing the love as well over there on Facebook, coming in with that like on the stream. It says, hello, my boy Aaron. Hello, Mama Bear. How you doing? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Saturday. Hopefully you're having yourself a great weekend as the racing action just about to get started here this evening. It's going to get pretty wild out there in a quick career. You do see that 18 of Noah Blackwell getting his qualifying laps in. We do see Josh Crider out there in his beautiful SpongeBob SquarePants number 5 ride, that Rubbered Up Productions ride, looking fresh out there on the Speedway. That's definitely a pretty fancy looking ride. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty wild ride out there for the 5 ride. The SpongeBob SquarePants car looking very good. And the 25, the Wrangler machine, a William Connolly out there as well, as it looks like we got about 13 drivers. Not a huge field, but a good field nonetheless. Is Jalen Wyatt, Jalen coming in with the resub over there on Facebook as well. Jalen coming in, 8-month sub-anniversary here. 8 months of being a subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming. Jalen, I can't thank you enough, brother, for being a part of the Peacemaker family and a part of the Peacemaker sub club. Coming in showing the huge love here this afternoon, brother. That is absolutely insane. We can't thank you enough, and being a part of the Peacemaker family here and supporting us monetarily over there on FB and showing the love on all of our channels, all of the channels here. As you can subscribe, become a part of the Peacemaker sub club or members club on all of our channels, whether it's over on YouTube, over on Facebook, or over on Twitch. On Twitch and Facebook, you gotta hit that subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker sub club here today. And if you're over on Twitch, make sure you guys hit that join button. Hit the join button, become part of the Peacemakers members club over there on the YouTube stream as well. Become part of the amazing, ever-growing family here on Peacemaker Gaming, and continue to help us reach our goals and to potentially be, full-time and be able to do this without having to stress about work or any of that other stuff, and just keep on doing what we do up here in the broadcast booth. This is Mama Bear with the hearts there in chat. We love you, Mama Bear, coming in showing the big love here in this one. I hope you're having yourself a amazing Saturday. As right now, it's Matthew Wood with the quick time here in qualifying. Michael Durham Jr. in second. Logan Perriman into position number 3. Noah Blackwell sits in 4th with Trenton Johns rounding out our top 5. Then we see Jonathan Gaston himself there in 6th. Then Farrell Robbins, Dylan Carrier back in 8th. And Dylan Carrier, he does have real life dirt experience, okay? So he's going to be one to really look out for. He's raced in real life on the dirt, so he should be the driver that everyone is looking towards to see, how to run these cars, run this race, and trying to put themselves into victory lane, but not the qualifying run that Dylan was hoping for here this afternoon, as it looks like we're going to have one and only one heat race here this evening. Top 6 are going to advance. Everyone else will go to a consolation race. I do believe everybody will get an opportunity to race here in this feature event this afternoon. Obviously, NJB Designs and the team try to, make it a little bit more enticing, try to get more of these drivers into the sim here. Obviously, having to buy these ARCA cars, having to jump in here for the All-Star race. Some drivers obviously electing to, 1, not have to spend the money, but also 2, maybe not, just taking the weekend off. There's no points, there's no pressure. You can kind of take that weekend off, have yourself a good chill weekend, and not have to worry about the points battles or anything else out there, and maybe just sit back, relax, and watch these drivers duke it out here for that All-Star event. As we do see Matthew Wood back in attendance here, and he is quickest in qualifying, and he'll start in that pole position in the Racers for Christ number 16. Now Matthew, he's kind of taken a step back. He has been our official pace truck and pace car driver here throughout the season in that 16 ride, and it hasn't really ran in too many of these races. We did see him in our Budweiser shootout. We saw him, in a couple of the races, but not very many. But here tonight, he gets another opportunity to jump in there. A previous winner, a previous, competitor here on a weekly basis with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Good to see Matthew back out there on the Speedway. Michael Durham Jr., who's going to start in position position number 2 in that 00. The Little Caesars ride there in that second spot. Logan Perryman in the DeWalt number 88 will start in 3rd. The Bad Dragon Toyota, the 18, and Noah Blackwell there in 4th, with Trenton Johns in the Transformers number 28 ride. The M&M's Transformers 28 will start there in 5th. To his outside, it's that Gaston's iRacing graphics, that beautiful Scott Bloomquist inspired ride, the Old Dogs machine, the G-Man himself. Jonathan Gaston will start in 6th. Then we see that 76 of Farrell Robbins, the Phoenix Esports 31 of Dylan Carrier. Then we see that 5 of Josh Crider, William Connolly, Danny White back there in the Jack Daniels number 79, Melvin Brengruer in the beautiful Total by Verizon number 89 right there in 12th, and Michael Ponder Jr. back there in that 13 right, the Josh Berry machine there in that 13th position. As we are quickly green flag racing here at Eldora Speedway, our heat race action commences here from Eldora, and the battles are gonna start to heat up here as each and every one of these drivers know that they want to be inside that top 6. But if you're not inside the top 6 in this 50-lap event, what you can do is kind of go back out there, run another 30 laps, have some fun out there on the speedway. You're going to be racing your way into the show no matter what, but you can get that extra practice, have those extra 30 laps in that consolation race, and maybe learn a little something extra out there on the speedway. But at the same point in time, I don't know how these ARCA cars are going to handle the dirt track. I don't know how the tire model is going to affect these rides and how quickly we may see that tire fall off, where that tire wear really starts to play in with these ARCA rides. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see, as we did see Michael Potter Jr. pull his car. He's down low on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's got some heavy front end damage here. Looks like that Josh Berry, number 13, Quicken Loads, and Wood Brothers Ford, unfortunately, down through corner 1 and 2, trying to roll into the throttle. Unfortunately, steps on it right there. The car kicks out. He comes down hard into the inside fence here at Eldora Speedway. Unfortunately, pretty good front end damage there for that 13 ride, but we stay clean and green out there on the speedway. As Mama Bear says, let's go. Number 16 cheering on Wood here this afternoon, and Mama Bear also says, number 31, I like the colors of his car. Yeah, Dylan Carrier, he's been sporting that paint scheme for quite a while. He's now lost the front bumper off that 31 ride. That's regular here on the dirt track racing side of things. And for the beautiful Phoenix Esports ride, definitely a great looking race car and another amazing NJP designed paint scheme out there on the racetrack. And he's got that ARCA Menards, number 31, racing towards the front of the field, up 2 spots. Now into that 6th position, trying to race his way inside the top 5, as we saw Josh Crider run into problems. Jonathan Gaston as well down pit side here. So Gaston comes down pit road, as we did see Josh Crider down and off the racetrack. Let's take a look back and see what happens here to Josh Crider as the Rubbered Up Productions, the SpongeBob SquarePants number 5 ride here, down low on the back straightaway. Looks like he's already got a little bit of damage here. Not sure if he ends up getting clipped by somebody or he just takes this car down pit side, trying to hit pit wall right here, and does come down pit side here. I don't know what happened to him, but looks like a little damage there. Definitely not having the best of times out there on the speedways. We do see the caution flag come out. The caution flag will fly here in this one. Josh Crider still down pit side, as it looks like Michael Durham Jr., the 00 machine, gonna run into some problems. He was rolling in that 2nd spot here, trying to keep that 18 of Noah Blackwell, the 88 Rhino Logan Perryman back there behind him. Blackwell goes for the slide job and contacts made, and around goes that 00. Hard contact into the inside fence for the 18 rider Noah Blackwell as well, and that's where we see our first caution flag of the day. Good hard racing here at Eldora Speedway. An unfortunate contact right there as the slide job out of the 18 sends it in deep down low. Slides up in front of him. The 00 at this point either needs to try to get farther outside of him or try to cross him over and get down low. Unfortunately stays in that lane. The 18 sliding up in front of him, losing a lot of that momentum like we see on those slide jobs, and unfortunately he kind of gets into him, trying to stay out of him. Obviously the 88 ride right there as well, helping push that Little Caesars Ford farther into the 18 machine and taking him around there for a quick ride. Luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage. A little bit of rear end damage there for the 00 ride, a little front end damage for the 18 Noah Blackwell, and we'll get them all loaded up and back out there on the speedways. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Eldora Eldora Speedway. These ARCA cars so far seem to be very, very fun, as CSOYT says, who's in that 00? That 00 machine, that is the 00 of Michael Durham Jr. Michael Durham Jr. rolls out there in position number 7 now. Actually, yeah, position number 7 out there on the racetrack. Seems like everyone needs to move forward there on that outside lane. The 25 right not quite up there, as he's in that 7th position. Going to be looking to try to get that little Caesars Mustang a little farther forward here in this one. Is Aaron Robinson. What's good, Aaron? Aaron says, yeah, my incident points could not have handled this dirt racing. Unfortunately, we don't see Aaron out there on the racetrack. But Aaron, this is a non-points race. I don't think the incident points would have counted for anything, as we see more contact back there. Look out, Melvin Brungruer in that 72 and Jonathan Gaston come together. Caution flag quickly to come back out here in this one, as cautions breeding cautions here at Eldora Speedway. As Brungruer in the 72 gonna make some contact here in this one. You see Melvin trying to get to the outside of his teammate here. A little bit of a slide up in front of him right there. Tries to cut down the racetrack. Actually looks like he may have lost the handle there a little bit. Was able to catch him, but lost a ton of momentum. The 72 sliding in there in the old dog's ride of Jonathan Gaston, the G-Man. Unfortunately getting in there, getting a piece of him, helping him go around. Pretty good contact down into that inside wall. Down in quarter number 4 for that 89 machine. There you go. The lights coming on. The caution light out. And unfortunately for both drivers, pointing the wrong direction. Going to have to try to get some work done and get those cars back out there onto the racetrack. There's right now only one driver down on pit road still, and that is that 5 right, the Robert Up Productions machine of Josh Crider. That Gaston's iRacing Graphics number 5 machine, the Lonnie Crider inspired car, comes down pit road here and has been down for quite a little while, as Aaron Robinson says, yeah, I guess so, but wasn't gonna risk a single chance on a penalty. I feel you, brother. I feel you. I feel you. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. CSO, hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know if you pronounce it a different way. CSO says that 28 is my teammate, I think, Trenton Johns. That is your teammate, Trenton Johns, out there in position number 3 right now in that M&M's Transformers ride out there on the speedway. Trenton Johns rolls there in that 3rd position. Noah Blackwell right there behind him, but out in front, it's still Matthew Wood. Wood looking to be the reflection of perfection here in this heat race, as Logan Perryman rolls there to his inside, and that the Wolf 88 machine. Noah Blackwell, the 28 of Trenton Johns, bring up row number 2. And then we see that 00 Michael Durham Jr., Farrell Robbins, William Connolly, Dylan Carrier, the number 89 of Melvin Brenger, the 79 of Danny White. Then we see Michael Ponder Jr. and Jonathan Gaston bringing up the rear of the field. The drivers still rolling out there on the speedway, as Matthew Wood quickly back onto the lap pedal as the number 16 banks it off the outside fence right there, gets into it again. Potentially some heavy right side damage here for the racers for Crank's ride, as he's able to keep that race lead, keep on rolling out there on the racetrack. But we'll have to wait and see if that damage affects his ride, as the 88 rider Logan Perryman tries to hunt him down out there on the speedway. Noah Blackwell rolls in 3rd, as he was able to get back around Trenton Johns. John trying to work underneath of him. Look out, the 28 rider, the slideways right there will cut down the racetrack. Gonna get a big run down the front stretch here and send it deep down into quarter number 1. He's gonna go for a bit of a slide job right there, as the 18 looks like he's about to lose that front bumper. Contact back there behind him between the 31. That is Dylan Carrier now down low. Carrier gonna set it in deep, trying to keep himself from sliding up into the 28 ride. He's gonna get a little loose. He's gonna make contact with the outside fence. Now contact with the 25. He's gonna go around. Caution flag back out on the racetrack. Nowhere to go for the 25 of William Connolly in a tough break for a bunch of these drivers. SCO is just shortened version of my full name. Just call me Storm. Storm, we like it. We like it, Storm. Coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube, as another tough break. A couple big hits right there. And it all starts up here with that number 31 of Dylan Carrier. Now, Carrier has real-life dirt experience, so he's been here before. He knows how to handle this dirt track, and unfortunately right here, just making a mistake down low. A very shallow entry victory. Unfortunately, trying to keep that car from rolling up in front of the 28. Knows he wasn't going to be clear for that slide job, and all of a sudden he kind of gets stuck right here in the middle. The 28 still coming down. He's trying to stop himself from sliding up. Gets a little bent out of shape right there. Gets loose. That car comes back up the racetrack. Ends up smacking that wall pretty hard, and then you see William Connolly just nowhere to go. Slams into the side of him here. Both drivers hang down the racetrack. They're going to make more contact here again, which is going to drive the 31 and the 25 down into that inside wall. Heavy damage there on the front end of both of those drivers. The 25 ride, though, up and around there in corner number 1, and unfortunately for Connolly, heavy damage there, and that will bring the caution flag back out. Let's jump on board here with Williams, see what he can see as he sees that 31 through the middle, sliding up there, struggling right here. Now all of a sudden, bam, Luzic comes up the racetrack, nowhere for him to go, trying to keep himself out of it still. Just could not avoid that one. Tough break right there, and that's definitely a big hit for that number 25 right out there on the speedways. We'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here at Eldora Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Zach Heyitskevcustoms. Zach coming in showing the love over there on Facebook with that thumbs up on the broadcast. As we are quickly back to green flag racing. Matthew Wood back onto the loud pedal. Has that RFC machine pointed in the right direction, looking to continue to be that reflection of perfection here this afternoon. And some contact deeper in the field, and the caution flag will come back out. Michael Ponder Jr., Dylan Carrier, Danny White, Melvin Brenger all going to get tied up in this one, potentially the big one here in this heat race, as looks like more drivers going to run into some problems here. Let's keep an eye here on that Phoenix Esports ride. Looks like he's going to try to send it deep down low. Oh, man, that's another tough hit right there. And another big hit. Trenton Johns also collected there in that one. Man, heavy hit right there. Let's take a look back. We see exactly where this kind of goes wrong. So the 31 ride trying to get a big launch off that restart. Sends it deep down low, hoping to go for a bit of a slide job or trying to just keep it pinned down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Unfortunately, right there, you see him make that contact with the inside wall, and that's just going to push this car up the racetrack. He knows it. He's trying to keep that car from sliding all the way up there. Unfortunately, the 28 rider Trenton Johns in the 76 here trying to avoid him, and unfortunately they end up making some pretty hard contact into him, sends Dylan back up the racetrack over the nose of the 28 of Trenton Johns. Both drivers get hard up into the outside fence, and then you see that 79 ride. Nowhere for Danny White to go. He pounds into the side of that 31, down over the nose of Jonathan Gaston. He ends up going down the racetrack, hard contact into the inside wall. Then you see Melvin Brenger drive in there as well, make heavy contact into that driver's side door of that Jack Daniels 79 right in. A bunch of tore up race cars here on the racetrack. A lot of drivers right there, unfortunately, getting tore up out there, as it all starts here with Dylan Carrier. He's got real life driving experience here on the dirt track, and unfortunately a big mistake there in that Phoenix Esports ride, in heavy contact for a bunch of his fellow competitors. See that 13 ride go around there as well after driving into the back end of that 28 and 31 ride. And unfortunately, about 5-6 of our drivers, half our field right there, getting some pretty solid damage as we get them all fixed back up and back out there onto the racetrack. We'll go back to green flag racing. As quickly, the green flag back out here at the Speedway. Only 21 more laps left to go here in this heat race. 21 laps of racing action here this afternoon for our first heat race of the day. And it's going to be our first and only heat race here this evening, as Scott Storm says, any street stock events this week. I'm trying to run one of these. I don't know if there's any street stock big events going on. I know last night one of the boys had a money race up. I think Stefanski had something up there, but I don't think there's anything else really going on dirt street stock wise here over the weekend, unfortunately there, Storm, as Aaron Robinson says, man, unfortunate for that 31 ride, the fastest car on track. I know he's got some real life dirt experience. Yeah, he's got some real life dirt experience, but right now everybody has been chasing down this 16 rider Matthew Wood. Matthew Wood, he's got real life sim experience here on the dirt side of things. We've seen him be very fast, very good out there on the speedway Speedway, especially in the NASCAR trucks when we've done these events in the past. And now here with these ARCA cars, picking right up where he left off last season, and that's being out in front and picking up wins. Last season, he was the most winningest driver here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and now this year in that NJPDesigns.com number 16 ride, he hasn't been full-time here. He hasn't been in a lot of these races, and for that 16 ride, be able to join this event for the All-Stars here this afternoon. Definitely looking to try to cash in and put that ride back up into victory lane here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Michael Durham Jr.'s looked very good. Got tied up in a couple incidences there in that little Caesars 00 ride, but he's looked very, very fast, very consistent. See with that 88 of Logan Perryman. Perryman rolls back there in that third position, but now going to go for that little bit of a slide job there over the 00 ride. They're going to be door-to-door down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Slide job, crossovers galore here for that second spot as the 88 takes the outside fence. Can't get the drive off that he was really hoping for, but does get back to the rear bumper of that 00 machine. Looking to try to get set up again, but the caution flag will come back out, and that will keep Logan back in position number 3. It's Michael Ponder Jr. Michael, unfortunately, in that Josh Berry-inspired Wood Brothers number 13 ride, going to have some problems here again. So that quick lane, the Wood Brothers 75-year anniversary paint scheme down the front straightaway, getting a little squirrely. That car's just going to go around. He's pointed the wrong direction right there below the flag stand. He's going to try to get this car down and under the racing surface here as quickly as possible. Luckily enough, does get down the racetrack before our race leader came around corner number 4. As for the 16 ride of Matthew Wood, I'm sure he might have had a pretty crazy sight to that one. Coming out of corner number 4, watching that 13 ride be parked there in the middle of the speedway. I'm not sure what was going through his mind and where he needed to be, as here he is down the back straightaway, going to send it into that third corner, looking for a big run down and out of corner number 4 here. And there, all of a sudden, there's that 13 car, and luckily enough, does see that he's pulling down to the inside and able to keep himself out of trouble there, and luckily enough, having lots of time to be able to make those moves and keep himself out of trouble, as we'll get him stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to battle here at Eldora Speedways. Yo, Ty Dickinson, what's good, Sweet T? Sweet T coming in, showing the love here with that heart reaction. How are you, brother? Ty coming in, showing the love here in this one. What is good, my boy? How are you, brother? How are you doing this afternoon? Coming in, showing the love here this evening as the racing action about to pick back up. We're going to get these drivers back under the green flag, and this isn't even our feature event. This is only a heat race, ladies and gentlemen. We still got a lot of racing left to go here this afternoon, so don't go anywhere because you don't want to miss this amazing event and this great racing action here this evening, as this is only heat race number 1 here this evening. Still a lot of time for drivers to figure their cars out, to try to get themselves up there, and right now for a lot of these drivers, what they're trying to do is lock themselves into the show, and we're going to see 6 very fast and talented drivers lock themselves into this A-main feature event. We may see the rest of the field go to our consolation race and roll out there on the speedway later in this one, as we do see Matthew Wood continue to lead the way. Another perfect restart there for him, as now we do see Noah Blackwell starting to put the pressure onto that little Caesars back bumper, as Michael Durham Jr. he hangs on to that second spot, but you see Blackwell, the Bad Dragon, number 18 ride right there behind him. The NJP Designs ride himself rolls there in that third spot, but down low, here comes Logan Perryman. Perryman trying to roll that middle groove, maybe a little bit of that slide job lane around the racetrack, looking to see if he can race his way back up into position number 2. Gets very sideways right there, didn't want to pull the trigger on the slide job, and unfortunately going to lose a little time down the back straightaway, as here comes that Transformers M&M's 28 of Trenton Johns. They're in that 5th position, as William Connolly in the 25 ride, now rounding out our top 6 on the speedway. And that top 6 is a pivotal point, as our top 6 drivers will lock themselves into the show here this afternoon, as Bill Robbins gonna run into some problems here. Now he's got a little bit of that caution tape yellow ride out there on the speedway. The student driver 76 ride out there on the speedway, and unfortunately here for Mr. Robbins, looks like he's going to roll out of corner number 4. He's going to get up into the slick stuff right there. Tire wear potentially starting to become a factor here, and unfortunately through the slick stuff, through a little of that tire wear, see that rear end just kick out and around on him, not able to get that thing collected and pointed back in the right direction as he comes back down the racetrack and over the nose there of the 98 ride as Brengerer really nowhere to go. They bounce off each other. The 76 up into the outside fence. Heavy contact there for him, and unfortunately for the student driver here, definitely learning quickly at how hard these hits are out there on the speedway as he rolls down the racetrack and down into the inside wall as well. Heavy hits there for Farrell Robbins out there on the racetrack, and now he scored back in that 10th position as right there on the outside of our transfer spot is that 89 ride of Melvin Brengerer. Dylan Carrier there in that NJP Designs Phoenix Esports 31 ride. He rolls there in 8th as Danny White and Farrell Robbins, a pair of the Old Dogs Racing rides, back there in the 9th and 10th position. Michael Ponder Jr., he's a lap or two or a few laps down here back in the 11th position. Then we see the Old Dogs, the G-Man, the Gasson's iRacing Graphics, number 72 down on pit road. That beautiful Scott Bloomquist inspired ride in the SpongeBob inspired ride, the Rubber Dot Productions 5 of Josh Crider, also down on pit road. As out in front, it's Matthew Wood. Wood looking to try to pick up this heat race win with only a few more laps left to go. Ty says, oh, hi Ty, how are you, brother? How are you, Ty? Ty coming and showing the love. How are you, brother Bear? How are you doing? Hopefully you're feeling well, my boy, as we go back to Green Flag Racing. The 16 rider, another great restart with only 3 more laps left to go. Can Matthew Wood race his way into the first heat race win this afternoon with the Premium Stock Car Racing League All-Star event fully underway here this evening. Down out of corner number 4, he will see the double sticks here, the twin sticks up into the air. 2 more laps around here, Eldora Speedway with that Premium Stock Car Racing League. Michael Durham Jr. trying to hang on to second here as Noah Blackwell trying to roll around that 28 of Trenton John. Shaw's getting very loose down the backstretch as the 88 ride of Logan Perryman up into the outside fence. The 25 ride of William Connolly trying to hold on to that 6th and final transfer spot as the white flag has been displayed here on our heat race. Connolly up on the high side. The 89 ride of Melvin Brengerer down low, but they're wrecking here. Around goes the 18. Around goes the 88 of Perryman. The 25 collected. The 79 collected. Down across the line is Matthew Wood, who picks up that heat race win, and it's Dylan Carrier who will come home and squeeze in to that 6th position, that final transfer spot. So Wood with the win here in heat race number 1. Michael Durham Jr., Trenton Johns, Melvin Brengerer, Farrell Robbins, and Dylan Carrier going to round out our 6 drivers to transfer into the show, meaning that Noah Blackwell, Logan Perryman, William Connolly, Danny White, Michael Potter Jr., Jonathan Gaston, and Josh Crider all potentially will have to go to our consolation race here this evening, but it looks like we are going to be able to skip that consolation race. So no consi here this evening, and that means that these drivers are going to jump out onto the racetrack here for their warm-up session this afternoon. They're going to quickly jump out there onto the racetrack. They're going to make sure that their cars are A-OK and ready to play here this evening, as we're going to get a quick break in here, and we're going to get Josh Crider himself up into the broadcast booth. Josh, what's good, brother? How are you doing this afternoon? What's going on with that SpongeBob SquarePants number 5 ride?
Hey, I just stepped out of the car to police race control. I'm the only admin here tonight, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I want to be out there and race, but the way it was going, I needed to be in the booth to be able to make some calls. So that's that.
Absolutely, brother. Well, it's going to be a very exciting one here this afternoon. Obviously, already seeing some pretty crazy action out there in that heat race. What do you got, kind of planned out? What do you think's going to happen here in this feature event? Are we going to see a lot of green flag laps, or are we going to see some more craziness unfold out there on the speedway?
I think all hell's going to break loose. Let's pull Matthew Wood in here and let's ask him.
Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Hello.
Matthew, brother. Great heat race win right there, man. Showing some dominance and some great talent out there on the dirt track here this afternoon as you're able to hold off all these drivers for that 50-lap stint here. Heat race number 1. Obviously, a lot of caution flags, a lot of restarts here with those drivers right back to your rear bumper, but you never faltered. You never really made a big mistake out there that cost you a position, and you're able to be that reflection of perfection in heat race number 1 and pull that 16 right into the heat race winners victory lane.
Yeah, it's fun to be back here. I mean, just back racing, and of course, $5 a race for me. Only race super speedways, and I guess this now. But yeah, I'm just grateful that they let me race, and it's been fun. The one thing I am struggling with is just getting over the berm. Once you get over that cushion, it's just like you're not going to turn. And my problem is I get way too far up in the entry of the corner, and then I go over the berm, smack the wall. I'm trying to let off. Don't hit it, and then I hit it, and I'm like, well, that sucks. But I'm driving a wooden car, thanks to Noah. So, pretty ironic, but we thought it'd be funny. We have a surprise next week for the pace car. We're going to try to do something different. There's me smacking a freaking wall. But yeah, this is I guess you could call it a Nissan R34 NASCAR, which is something I never thought I'd say, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. Well, that heat race was pretty wild. Obviously, a lot of caution flags, man. What do you think's going to happen here in this feature event? Do you think it's going to be more of the same? Do you think you're going to be able to just keep yourself out in front, keep hitting these restarts, and potentially seeing a lot of carnage unfold back there behind you?
I mean, I definitely think there's going to be carnage, especially in the first few laps. But I think if we can get about past lap like 10 or so, then it'll just be a battle of tires being consistent. But the problem is, I mean, the high side's really the only place to pass, and then you go to the inside and try to slide job, and then, that's what I believe's happening anyway. I'm not sure, but just people trying to get too much or getting on the slick and spinning out. So I think it'll be more of the same, but hopefully we can go more green flag racing, but we'll have to see.
Absolutely. Now, I talked a little bit early on in the heat race about that tire wear. Now, obviously, these cars being new, I do believe they do have proper dirt track tires here for these ARCA cars. I'm not sure if that's, actually true or not, but take us through some of that tire wear. What do you see right now? Does it seem like the tires are falling off in a quick hurry, or do you think these things are just still too tough to drive out there in that slick stuff?
I mean, it's definitely tough to drive, but I don't think the tire wear is too bad. I didn't feel a horrible fall off, but later in the run, I definitely think once the track gets slick, it's going to be very, very hard to maintain a good pace, and it's going to be extremely hard to keep the right rear in the racetrack, which is, of course, on dirt, something that you have to do.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not too sure. What do we got here? 80 laps for that feature event. Do you think there's going to be some tire saving? Do you think you guys maybe roll around the inside, maybe save for 30 laps, save for 40 laps, and then have a little extra left in the tank for later on?
I don't know. I'll have to see. I don't race dirt very much, which, I mean, that's ironic considering that. But, as far as long run goes, I'm not entirely sure how to run it, so that's probably where they're going to get me. Of course, I mean, we didn't really have a long run. The tires were cooled down and everything every couple of laps, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But again, just thanks to Noah for this bait scheme. It looks awesome, and my family for sticking with me, and the Lord for what he's done.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Matthew, good luck out there. Have some fun, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth at the end of the night.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Matthew Wood coming in, giving us a quick couple words, and now we got Jonathan Gaston up in here into the broadcast booth. Jonathan, do you get a copy?
I sure do.
Jonathan, man, you're one of those drivers that, I've seen for quite a few years, not only running some asphalt stuff, but also doing a lot of dirt track racing as well. So take us through, what you're kind of feeling out there on the racetrack. Obviously a new car, but the same old Eldora Speedway that we've seen you race multiple times in the past, whether it's a late model or a big block or anything else out there on the racetrack, man. Take us through, your experience, not only being, from a little bit of that dirt sim racing background, to these asphalt cars here under.
I really enjoy these cars. The problem I'm having is my teammate Danny White sent me his Fanatec wheel, and I am still learning how to drive with it. It's a huge difference, and I tried something right before that heat race started, and my wheel was completely uncalibrated. So I had to drop out and then come back in. I love dirt track. I love this track. I'm just trying to learn this new wheel. I probably should have waited until after this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come from the back and get up there and challenge those guys with me being in my head. I don't have the confidence right now, but we'll see what happens. I got 80 laps.
A lot of laps, a lot of action that can unfold out there in a heartbeat. Obviously, we saw a lot of craziness and caution flags there throughout that heat race. Potentially more of the same here throughout this race. But with that dirt background, do you think that maybe plays into that knowledge a little bit and having that little bit of an upper hand, potentially kind of having an understanding of how the tire wear affects these cars and some of the strategy that goes into it here on the dirt side of things compared to the asphalt side, where normally just roll out the throttle, be a little easier on corner entry and exit and everything else. Well, here on dirt, you kind of played a little bit differently and take some of that strategy into consideration here in this 80 lap race.
Oh yeah, it 100% does. I was just watching a couple of them fast guys. I watched them do their qualifying, and if they try to run all 80 laps like that, I do think I'll hunt them down. I did a 112 lap test earlier in the week, and I know what these tires are going to do, and I know the fall off, and I know where to find that grip. It's just going to be if I can keep my car together, getting up through the field.
Absolutely, brother. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very awesome to see you guys battling out there here at Eldora Speedway in these ARCA cars. Jonathan, have a great race. Enjoy your time out there on the Speedway. Hopefully figure out that racing wheel, and hopefully we see you right back up here in the broadcast booth at the end of the night.
I'll give it everything I have.
Absolutely, brother. Give the crowd a wave as we got you up on the webcam as well. As, brother, good luck out there. Have some fun, and see you back up here hopefully in this broadcast booth later on.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Jonathan Gaston. Is Gaston coming in, giving us a quick couple words there, and his experience and what he wants to do and what he's trying to feel out there on the Speedway, and potentially using some of that dirt track experience that he has here on the simulator to try to propel him a little farther forward, and using that knowledge to potentially put himself up here into victory lane here this afternoon. And now we do have another driver out there that has a little dirt track experience in real life, and that's still a Carrier. We saw Carrier having a really rough time out there in that heat race. We'll have to wait and see what he can do here in this feature event as our warm-up session about to come to a close here, and we're going to get a quick word in for our opening command from Lonnie Crider. Crider coming in with our opening command here this evening. We'll get him up here into the live stream for our opening command this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up to Lonnie Crider himself. We'll get him up here into the thing. There we go. All right. Here we go. We get a good look here at Lonnie giving us the command here to fire engines for our A-Main feature event here from Eldora Speedway.
Thank you very much. Set those DVRs and quit watching them basketball games, because you're getting ready to watch the best racing you've ever seen on this channel. So good luck tonight, guys, and we hope you have a great race. God bless America, and God bless every one of us. Start them engines and let's go racing, guys.
Heck yeah, shout out right there to Lonnie Crider. A great opening command here, and these drivers are ready to rumble. They are ready to go to battle here this evening as our A-Main feature event is about to get underway. These guys are going to get ready to duke it out here in this one for a lot of laps here this afternoon. As we're going to get a quick word in from our sponsors over at NJP Designs here this afternoon, and our sponsors over at Prestige Enterprises real quick before we roll out there onto the racetrack for our green flag. So don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss any of the action. Make sure you guys hit that like, follow, and share button.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US, and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Eldora Speedway. Our main feature event is underway. The time for waiting, the time to put on the show is over, and these drivers are ready to rock and roll, and each and every one of them are going to look to try to put themselves up and into victory lane. We saw in that first heat race, Matthew Wood was showing some dominance out there on the racetrack. We'll see if he can continue that here in this main feature event. As early on, a little bit of pressure here down low as that 00 Michael Durham Jr. looking to try to take over that top spot as he works that Little Caesars Ford Mustang down to his inside. But Matthew Wood up on the outside groove, able to keep that power down and able to keep that number 16 right out in front, continuing to hold these drivers off out there on the speedway. As Michael Ponder Jr. runs into some more problems, he's backwards here on the back straightaway. So far, no caution flag. He's going to pull back up the racetrack as here comes our race leaders. There's the yellow flag as he spins it out again, gets up into the outside fence, and a tough break there for the Josh Berry inspired Wood Brothers 75-year anniversary paint schemed ride. As he pulls down to the inside of the racetrack, still trying to get that car figured out and back into the right direction here. He's going to look to come down pit side, try to get that car repaired. Let's take a look back and see how this happens and what brings out our first caution flag of the day. Tough break out there for the 13 right. Definitely struggling out there on the dirt here in these ARCA cars, and down the back straightaway, see him just get loose there, trying to correct it. Comes back up the racetrack into the outside fence, and then rolling back up through the gears here, trying to get that car rolling once again on the racetrack, and just losing that rear traction and just spinning the tires there, and unfortunately getting into the wall a couple times here and creating more havoc, more damage there for himself. And that will bring out our first yellow flag as the race leaders storming down the back straightaway, trying to keep themselves out of trouble. As we will get them stacked back up, we'll get them ranked back up and ready to go back to green flag racing as Matthew Wood continues to lead the way. Michael Durham Jr. there in second with Trenton Johns in that Transformers M&M's 28 ride rolls there in third. Noah Blackwell in the Bad Dragon Auto Value Parts Stores. The NJB Designs number 18 ride rolls there in that fourth position. Starting in position number 5, there in rolling in that fifth spot is the Phoenix Esports NJB Designs Premier Racing Setups number 31 ride of Dylan Carrier. To his outside in that yellow at number 76 is the Old Dogs Racing, the Gaston's Eye Racing Graphics ride. Then is the student driver of Farrell Robbins, who right now rounds out our top 6 on the speedway. Then we see that total by Verizon number 89 ride. That is Melvin Brangler back in 7th. William Connolly in the Wrangler 25 to his outside there in 8th. Then we see Jonathan Gaston himself in that Gaston's Eye Racing Graphics Old Dogs number 72 ride back in 9th. Logan Perryman in the DeWalt number 88, rounding out our top 10 with Danny White. Michael Ponder Jr. in the 5 of Josh Crider, bringing up the rear of the field as Crider jumping out of the driver's seat and up into the admin booth here this afternoon, trying to keep all these drivers pointed in the right direction and out of trouble here this evening. As out in front, seeing that green flag fly here once again and holding these drivers off for another lap, but getting that pressure once again to his back bumper as a little bit of a slide job right there out of the 00, sends that 18 of Noah Blackwell up into the outside fence. Heavy left front damage. Look at that left front tire pointed in the wrong direction. Unfortunately, looks like an upper tie rod or something has been completely busted apart here for Noah Blackwell. He's trying to get that car continuing to roll out there on the speedway. Unfortunately, no turn out of that car. The one wheel just absolutely tumbled over there, and unfortunately struggling trying to get this car to keep on rolling around the racetrack, hoping to see if he can get it back down pit side here to get some work done to it. And unfortunately, he's just going to continue to slide farther and farther backwards here on the racetrack. That's a tough break there for that 18 machine. Let's see if we can take another look back at it here, see if we can get a look and see what happens as Noah Blackwell having a good run. He was right up there in position number 3, battling, trying to get to the outside of that 00. You're going to see the 00 head down low here, going for a little bit of a slide job here, trying to roll that inside groove. Unfortunately, the Little Caesars ride gets tight, pushes up the racetrack here, right over the nose of the 18 ride. He slams into him. Hard contact from that left front to the back bumper of that 00 ride, and that's where you see that damage. That tire just and absolutely destroyed. A tough break right there for the NJB Designs 18 riders. He's going to have to take that car down to inside during the green flag conditions, but he's going to get lucky enough that the caution flag does come out here. So a huge lucky break there for him, but the damage was pretty much already dealt. Already a couple laps down here for that 18, still having to get that car repaired and back out there onto the racetrack as Melvin Brangruer runs into some problems here as well. His teammate over there is see Melvin down the front straightaway. He's going to get up into the outside fence, and then he's going to get a little up tap right there from the 72, Jonathan Gaston. That's where we see that caution flag fly. So a tough break there as Gaston just gets a big run here down the straightaway after the 89 scrubs that outside fence. You're going to see him just come up the racetrack here, trying to throw a little maybe early slide job, maybe just trying to get up in front of that 89 or try to stay right to his back bumper. Unfortunately, comes up a little too quick, ends up making contact there with that left front tire of the 89, or left rear tire of the 89 ride-in. Spinning him around, he goes down the racetrack sideways here. Here comes that 18 ride, still damaged on the racetrack. He was definitely hoping to see that caution flag, just did not want to see one of his teammates get tied up in it, as some good contact there with that inside fence for the 89 ride. But he's going to get that car fixed up and back out there onto the racetrack. Same with the 18 and Noah Blackwell. It looks like Blackwell will get the lucky dog, and the 18 will get at least another lap back here this afternoon. Now he may need multiple laps to try to race his way back up to the front of the field here in this one. It's Matthew Wood continuing to lead this race. Wood out in front. Michael Durham Jr. They're in position number 2 in that Little Caesars 00 ride. And here comes that real-life dirt experience driver, Dylan Carrier, in the Phoenix Esports number 31 ride. Dylan has raced in real life on the dirt track, and he's starting to take some of that experience here and putting it into the sim and trying to race his way to the front of the field as he's up right now 3 positions and in position number 3 on the speedway. Trenton Johns there to his outside. Then we see Farrell Robbins in the 88 of Logan Perryman back there in that 6th position. William Connolly, Jonathan Gaston make up our top 8 as Brangruer in the 79 of Danny White rounding out our top 10. Noah Blackwell back there in 11th, and looks like Blackwell is back onto the lead lap, so a great break there for that 18 ride as he gets to rejoin this field and rejoin this battle here out there on the racetrack, trying to race his way now back up through the action, back up through the field, and try to get himself back to the front of the pack here and see if he can go after Matthew Wood for this race win, as Wood still being the reflection of perfection here this evening. This 16 ride has been absolutely picture perfect out there on the racetrack, and he gives us a great sight here, a great scene as we get the kind of the in-car camera, not only in the sim, but he's got the webcam in behind him here, giving us a great viewpoint and really seeing what his hands and what he's doing out there on the racetrack to continue on battling here this evening in the Premium Stock Car Racing League All-Star Race. Let's take a look here again at Wood's webcam here to really see his perspective out there on the racetrack and what he's doing out there on the speedway. Oh, nope, never mind. Looks like his webcam's kind of falling over there. You can't quite see it now. We really got to look there during his interview in the warm-up session there on where you can see that wheel and everything else, but now his webcam's kind of tumbled over and he's too busy out there on the racetrack racing. So let's see if we can get another look out there. We got a couple of these other drivers. We do see that 31 out there, the 72 of Jonathan Gaston. They got the webcams turned on for us, giving us some great looks, some great perspectives as you see the 18 and the 76 making contact down the back straightaway. That's 72 of Jonathan Gaston. He's going to quickly slide up, take that spot. He'll move into the 7th position. Almost contact right there as the G-Man kicking that rear end out. Still trying to get used to that new steering wheel out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can move that webcam down a little bit. There we go. A little bit better of a spot as Exciting Gats coming in, showing the love over there on Twitch. How are you, Exciting Gats? Coming in, showing the love there on the Twitch live stream as well. How you doing this afternoon? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. It's Jeff McJeffrey coming in, showing the love as well over there on Facebook with that like on the stream. How are you, Jeff? How you doing this afternoon? Hopefully you're having yourself a great day. It's a great look, a great perspective here of that 72 of Jonathan Gaston out there on the speedway. Looking good out there on the racetrack as well. That 72 ride, Jonathan always doing a great job with those Gaston's iRacing graphics out there and always looking fresh out there on the speedway. And here you go, you get that really good look and what he's doing in these hands moving out there on the racetrack, just trying to keep these cars pointed in the right direction. These guys are getting a real workout in, and you can see that 72 right up in his webcam and what he's dealing with and how much work he's gonna do here in the workout that he's getting out there on the racetrack right now, rolling back in that 7th spot. We take a little farther forward, a driver who's now moved himself up into position number 2. A driver who has real-life dirt experience and using it out there on the racetrack. It is that number 31 ride of Dylan Carrier. Carrier up into that 2nd spot now trying to hunt down Matthew Wood. Wood roll that inside lane, maybe trying to protect some of those tires, but still laying down some great lap times out there on the speedway. Is that high side becoming a little bit more packed in, a little bit more slick out there on the speedway, and it's going to get tougher and tougher for these drivers to keep on holding these cars up there in that outside lane. And Matthew Wood, realizing that, quickly jumps down to the inside, trying to keep that car from kicking the rear end out too much, keeping those tires from really spinning and sliding and burning up those tires more and more out there on the racetrack, and now trying to roll that inside groove as the caution flag does come out. As a shout out there to Carrier and a shout out to all of our amazing drivers having these webcams turned on for us this afternoon, giving us a great look in at what they're doing behind the wheel here this afternoon. As let's take a look here, we will see all the drivers there, and we do see the blacked out screen. That was Josh Crider. Unfortunately, Josh has now turned his webcam off here for us as he is no longer out there on the racetrack. He's jumped up into the admin booth and trying to keep these drivers under control, but you get a good look there at Noah Blackwell, Melvin Brengruer there, Jonathan Gaston, Dylan Carrier, Matthew Woods' camera obviously now tumbled over, pointed the wrong direction, but you get a great look, and a huge shout out to all of our amazing drivers for having these webcams turned on for us this afternoon and giving us a great look out there at what these guys are dealing with on the speedways. Let's take a look back at what brings out this caution flag. Looks like it was the 28 ride. Trenton Johns rolling in that 3rd position, trying to battle back up and around that 31 ride of Mr. Dylan Carrier, and unfortunately looks like a big run from the 18 ride, and looks like Noah Blackwell from deep here. He's going to send it in there, going for the Hail Mary down low, looking for a little bit of a 2-for-1 here. As not only is he trying to slide the 88 right of Logan Perryman, but he ends up going a little too far right here, and unfortunately ends up into that left rear quarter panel of the 28 of Trenton Johns. Unfortunately, trying to go for that slide job, trying to carry as much speed and momentum down through quarter 3 and 4 to complete that slider. Unfortunately, getting a little too far in there, getting that 28 right and heavy contact there as well for Logan Perryman, as he gets a good shot into the side of that 28 right, and pretty good damage to all 3 drivers collected right there, as Michael Durham Jr. just lucky enough to get onto the binders there and avoid contact and avoid damage there himself. As we'll get him stacked up, ranked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Live from the beautiful Eldora Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we are back to green flag racing here at Eldora Speedway, as Matthew Wood leads the way. That 16 right out in front with Dylan Carrier and Noah Blackwell now in tow, trying to hunt him down. We saw that 18 ride race his way up into about position number 2 before that contact, and him going around and getting that damage from the 00 ride of Michael Durham Jr. Now battling back after getting that car repaired and back out there on the racetrack. He's raced his way up through the field here. He's got a little damage, a little bit of contact, beating and banging fenders on his way back up here towards the front of the field, but now rolls there in position number 3. Has his NJB Designs teammate right there in front of him, as Dylan Carrier in that beautiful Phoenix Esports ride rolls there in second. Matthew Wood rolling there in position number 1, though, continuing to lead the way here at Eldora, looking to be that reflection of perfection here this evening. He won the pole position, fastest there in qualifying, led every lap in our one and only heat race, and so far throughout this feature event, he has led every lap here in this one as well. Can that 16 right hang on? Can he keep up this speed and that pace and keep up being that reflection of perfection or do we see that 31 or the 18 ride find a little something late in this race and try to find their way up and into victory lane? As you do see the 16 gets up into the outside fence, so does that 31 ride. They stay even down through 3 and 4, but you do see that pressure starting to get played here as the 31 ride, he is there, he's within striking distance. We can see that car really starting to hang out that rear end more and more than the 16. As here he goes, down low, looking for maybe the slide job right there over our race leader. It's a close one down across the line, but Matthew Wood able to hang on to the race lead. Wood stays out front. Dylan Carrier back there at second, and now here comes Noah Blackwell. Blackwell right there in that third position, hoping to see maybe a little contact, a little controversy between these top two cats, where if they get tied together, he may be able to slide right around them and take over this race lead. As Dylan Carrier continues to put the pressure onto the back bumper of that 16 ride, Matthew Wood rolling out in front, just trying to keep these guys back there at bay. But man, oh man, he's going to have his hands full here for quite a while, hoping to try to pull away, hoping to gain a little bit of extra lead here and give himself a little bit of a breather and not have that pressure right directly onto his back bumper and down the back straightaway. That's exactly what it looks like he's going to get. The 31 slides back a couple car lengths right there, and now allowing that 16 ride to kind of breathe a little bit, be at ease out there on the speedway, and try to keep himself out of trouble. Some great racing actions. Aaron Robinson says, was that heat 2 or is it one heat and then the main? It was one heat there for the main, Aaron. Yeah, I thought I read that earlier, but for Mr. Robinson, yeah, unfortunately it was only one heat race. Not enough cars out there on the racetrack. If we would have had, 20 cars, 16 cars, we probably would have saw 2 heat races there and split these guys up, but iRacing putting everyone into that one heat race, skipping the second heat race and skipping the consolation races. Everybody would advance to this feature event, and that's exactly what we see here this afternoon. Is again contact there for the 16 right up into the outside fence. The 31 right at Dylan Carrier continuing to try to use that real life dirt experience out there on the racetrack to try to race his way to the race lead, but the 16 right continues to be the reflection of perfection here this afternoon as Matthew Wood continues to lead the way, and now hard contact back there behind him. Look out, Noah Blackwell tags the outside fence, heavy right side damage, and now look out, the 31 right at Dylan Carrier getting sideways down through corner number 3 and 4. He's going to end up losing a couple spots out there as Blackwell, Logan Perryman, and potentially that 00 Michael Durham Jr. all going to get around him. So he goes from second now all the way back to that 5th position, and for the 31 right up into the outside fence again here at Eldora Speedway. Now back into that 5th spot as Noah Blackwell, after banking it off the outside fence, looked to potentially lose a couple spots himself, but able to keep it pointed the right direction. Now into second here as Logan Perryman trying to race his way up towards the front of the field, started deep in the pack after late race contact there in that heat race, in the 88 now finds himself in position number 3. Is out in front, it's Matthew Wood who continues to lead this race over a second and a half, now separates himself and our second place driver Noah Blackwell. As Blackwell trying to get that car rolling is my boy Matthew Glenn. What's good, Mr. Glenn? Matthew coming in, show the love over there on Facebook. What is good, Mr. Glenn? Matthew coming in, showing the big love here this afternoon as that battle back there for 4th is not over. You see that 31 at Dylan Carrier trying to race his way back into position number 4. That Little Caesars 00 right on Michael Durham Jr. not wanting to give it up. As Trenton Johns there in that 6th position trying to hunt them both down. We see Melvin Brengler there in 7th. Jonathan Gaston trying to get used to that new wheel here. New wheel and pedals there for the 72 right. That Scott Bloomquist inspired Gaston's iRacing graphics number 72 machine as he rolls back in 8th. William Connolly in the Wrangler 25 right there in 9th, with a pair of old dogs back here deeper in the field there in the 10th and 11th position, as that's Farrell Robbins in the 76, Danny White in the Jack Daniels number 79. Michael Ponder Jr. is taking his car down pit road here, has been down pit road for quite a while, and Josh Crider jumping out of the driver's seat and up into the admin booth, trying to keep these drivers under control here this afternoon. Is out in front, now stretching out that lead, 2.5 seconds down across the line between Matthew Wood and our second place driver Noah Blackwell. Blackwell as Blackwell hang on to it down through the slick stuff. He's going to get sideways. There's Michael Durham Jr. going to slam into the side of him. Turn the wrong direction. Park there on the racetrack, and the caution flag will come back out. So Blackwell losing the rear end down through corner number 1 and 2. And unfortunately for the 18 ride, the NJB Designs machine gonna go around right here, and that is going to bring the caution flag back in. Let's take another look at it here as he sends it in deep down into corner number 1, but right through that slick stuff. And I think he was hoping to slide up a little farther up onto that berm, up onto the cushion here on the outside of corner number 1. Unfortunately misses it back onto the throttle there through the slick stuff and just loses that rear end. The car continues to go around, slides down the racetrack in for the 00 ride, just rolling that middle groove. Nowhere for him to go, slides right into the side of that 18 ride. Was hoping that he could get around him quick enough. Unfortunately, not quick enough, as some heavy contact there for both drivers, and for the 00 pointed the wrong direction and stopped out there on the racetrack. Will bring that caution flag out. He heads down pit side to get that Little Caesars 00 ride repaired. Same with Farrell Robbins in the 76. We did see William Connolly also down pit side getting some repairs done to that 25, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a couple more moments. Zayden Lucas, Aiden coming in, says, shame I missed tonight. The quest for 5 in a row lives on till next week. It'll live on till next week, brother. No points here tonight for you, so not too much of a sweat to miss this race here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here as we are over halfway in and halfway to go here in this race. These drivers are going to continue to battle it out, and we're going to jump into a Peacemaker Gaming crank it up edition here in the All-Star Race with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. So crank up that volume as we go back to Green Flag Racing here at Eldora. look out as the caution flag will come back out here. Enjoying our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up as the Crank It Up caution flag curse will continue here in this one. As the 72 rider Jonathan Gaston running into some problems down low, trying to race his way a little closer to the front of the field here. You see that 72 rider Gaston trying to roll himself underneath that 88 rider Logan Berryman. This is a battle for that 5th position. Looks like he's just going to lose that rear end down through the slick stuff there. Out of corner number 2, and unfortunately right down the racetrack, nowhere to go for the 00 ride. Second time back-to-back caution flags here for that 00 rider Michael Durham Jr. that he's gotten tied up in one of these incidences. Just nowhere for him to go. The driver in front of him just sliding down the racetrack, going around, and unfortunately is right in front of him and nothing he can do. Let's take a look here on board. We're going to slow it down here and give you a look, as he doesn't have much time. He kind of sees the 72 there to the outside, losing it here. He's trying to roll through the corner himself. Now finally sees that 72 parked sideways, and really not enough time for him to really make a decision on where he needs to go, where he needs to try to avoid that 72, as it happens so quickly, and unfortunately this is the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's how racing goes, ladies and gentlemen. You can have yourself a fast car and potentially even be one of the best cars out there on the racetrack and get tied up in other incidences out there on Speedway, and sometimes just being in the wrong place at the wrong time and put yourself into that position. As we'll get ready to go back to battle, we'll get ready to go back to our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up as these drivers continue to battle out there on the Speedway. All right, is the caution flag going to come back out here in this one? A quick couple caution flags here as cautions breeding cautions out there at Eldora Speedway, and unfortunately looks like a pair of old dogs going to get tied up here in this one. Is Danny White and Farrell Robbins potentially going to get some damage here? Let's take a look here. Farrell Robbins down low in that student driver 76 machine, slides up into corner number 1 and looks like down low, yeah, 79 ride just gets in there a little bit too far, a little bit too much speed and momentum down on the inside lane. You can see him taking a big run right here, trying to get that Jack Daniels right up towards the front of the field. Unfortunately gets in there a little too far, ends up making some contact with that left rear quarter panel of the 76. Both drivers going to go around, stop there on the racetrack, and that's where we see the officials throw that caution flag here at Eldora Speedway. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to battle here once again this afternoon, as the racing action going to continue here this evening with the Premium Stock Car Racing League here in our All-Star Race, sponsored and powered by NJB Designs. NJB Designs coming in, giving us some money here this evening, a little bit of dough on the line here for these drivers to try to earn a little cash here this evening, as we get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to battle here this afternoon, as our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up is going to come to a close, and the racing action about to pick back up out there on the Speedway, as the 16 of Matthew Wood continues to be that reflection of perfection with only 24 more laps left to go here this afternoon. Down across the line, they'll click off another lap. It's 23 laps left to duke it out. And here comes Dylan Carrier. A slide job there for the race lead. A big move into the 31, but a great crossover. Matthew Wood quickly able to cut back down the racetrack underneath of him and stay out in front. Now the 31 trying to hang on to that second spot as here comes Noah Blackwell and here comes Trenton Johns. Both drivers looking to try to slide around that 31 machine, but Dylan Carrier able to hang on to it. Now look out, more contact up the racetrack. Hard contact into the outside fence. Upside down goes Logan Perryman. Red flag on the racetrack as the DeWalt 88 goes for a wild ride down the back straightaway. The caution flag, the red flag out there on the speedway as he's somehow still crab walking this race car around the speedway. And he's going to have to come down pit side. Heavy damage here, heavy repairs coming up for that 88 machine as, wow, what a ride right there. What a wild ride for that number 88. And it starts up here for that battle for second. 3 wide down across the line here. And things get tight in a quick hurry. And right here, you see some contact. The 28 ride ends up into that 18 of Noah Blackwell. And unfortunately, he slides up the racetrack into that very tacky stuff. Packed stuff up there in the slick stuff, and unfortunately as soon as that right rear kind of dips over at that transfer going from the tacky stuff down through the middle of the racetrack here, you see him kind of rolling that inside lane, that middle groove. Once he makes the contact, that right rear just going to go up into the slick stuff, loses the traction. The car comes back down the racetrack over the nose of Jonathan Gaston and into that right rear quarter panel of the 88 ride, and that's just going to send him up the track, hard up into the outside fence here, and man, oh man, he gets ran through by a couple drivers. Watch this again. Hard contact here. There's the contact up the track into the wall. 25 right, the 00, nowhere to go. Both drivers slam into him there, and that's what gets him upside down here at Eldora Speedway. Heavy damage there for Logan Perryman. Heavy damage for a lot of these drivers tied up in it as let's jump on board here with that 88 and watch this wild ride. Woo, baby, that is never a sight you want to see as a race car driver out there on the speedway. Doing barrel rolls anywhere on the racetrack is never a good time on the speedway. And unfortunately for the 88 ride, the big wreck here this afternoon, hard contact into that outside fence just to start it off. Hard contact for the 25, the 89 getting some damage there as well. The 00 of Mr. Michael Durham Jr. Hard contact there as well, and he also comes back down the racetrack here. The 76 Ryan gonna get into him as the 88 flipping down the back straightaway here. A lot of tore up race cars. You see Farrell Robbins turn the wrong direction there. We see, that's Danny White, sorry, pointed in the wrong direction. You see that 28 ride of Trenton Johns finally getting that car pointed back in the right direction here. There's a lot of tore up race cars out there on the speedway. Now we see some other drivers coming down pit lane here. Dylan Carrier headed down pit road trying to get some work done to his car, so going to give up track position for that 31 machine as he comes down pit side. William Connolly still down on pit road trying to get that 25 car repaired and back out there onto the racetrack. Michael Ponder Jr. down pit road here with them. As out in front, we do see Dylan Carrier. He's going to get back onto the lead lap, but he's going to be lining up at the rear of the field here as leading this race. It's Matthew Wood. Matthew continuing to be that reflection of perfection, that Racers for Christ number 16 ride. The Wood car in Wood racing it here. Wood in the Wood car here this afternoon, looking to try to pick up a big checker flag here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League All-Star race. And now you do see that Gaston's iRacing graphics, the Old Dogs ride, that Scott Bloomquist inspired machine here of Jonathan Gaston up into position number 2. The 18 of Blackwell rolls there in third with Trenton Johns in fourth. Then we see Melvin Brengruer, Danny White, that 00 Michael Ponder Jr., the 88 of Logan Perryman, Farrell Robbins, and that 31 ride of Dylan Carrier bringing up the rear of the field as Matthew Wood quickly back onto the lap pedal here at Eldora Speedway. The beating and banging the battle, and back there behind him is going to ensue once again as everyone trying to race their way to the front of the field here, looking to try to cash in this afternoon on some little extra money on the line. Brought to you by NJB Designs here this evening, and for our race winner, I do believe it's a cool, crisp $25 going into their back pocket. So for a lot of these drivers, $25 is $25, and being on the simulator, having some fun anyways, but able to put that money into your pocket definitely makes that day that much better, especially after picking up a race win here and being the All-Star race winner. No better accolade on the season. As the 16 of Matthew Wood looking to get it done here in this one, keeping him in the Wood car out in front. As back there behind him, Trenton Johns able to roll himself back up into second here. Got that Ford Mustang rolling. His lookout, the 88 ride down low. Logan Perryman losing it down there through corner number 3 and 4. Looks like he may have a tire blowout or something. Looks like that car definitely struggling. Now back into position number 10 on the racetrack, and maybe that toe leg, maybe still some damage from going upside down. And now we do see another driver, and the 88 going to get collected in it again. Caution flag back out there on the speedways. This time it's the G-Man, Jonathan Gaston, who restarted in position number 2. Going to go around. As down through corner 1 and 2, it looks like he's going to get very loose out of corner number 2 here, and trying to keep that car pointing the right direction. Gets up, pancakes the outside fence right here. And he's going to get a little help here going all the way around from the 79 ride, but goes for a quick loop-de-loop. The 76 of Farrell Robbins unfortunately getting in there, not getting checked up quickly enough, and slams into the side of him, then goes down the racetrack, collects that number 88 right of Logan Perryman there as well. Let's see if we can get another look at this one, another perspective of this number 76 right, and what he sees as him and Perryman. Perryman slow down the front straightaway, the 76 gaining that position, now trying to race his way up to the 31 in that 00 ride. Then all of a sudden, here's that 72 parked there in the middle of the high side. Unfortunate contact there. Heavy damage to the front end of the 76. Now a little damage as well again to the 88 rider. Perryman going to continue to try to get that car repaired. He's got it down pit side. The crew's trying to get that toe link done and get that car back out there on the racetrack, as he was still crab walking there. That's why he was slowed down through the middle of the corners and down the straightaways. That car definitely not pointing the right direction. Potentially some framework needing to be done here this evening there for that 88 machine. Heavy damage there on his car. As we'll get him ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to battle here once again this afternoon, as the green flag about to fly again here this evening. The 16 of Matthew Wood out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here this evening, as Trenton Johns rolls there in second. Down on the inside lane is the 16 electing again here, continuing to use that outside lane, getting a great launch, quickly put the power down, opening up a bit of a lead down into corner number 1 as Wood continues to lead the way. Trenton Johns there in second. Noah Blackwell back there in third. Here comes Dylan Carrier, who is down pit side, able to get that car repaired. Looks like he's gotten some of that damage fixed up, and looking fast here again, trying to race his way back up towards that top spot here on the racetrack, seeing if he can go back after Matthew Wood for this race win here this evening. Let's see if he can make some moves and maybe join that top 3 here again this afternoon, as he's got some real life dirt experience in that Phoenix Esports and JB Designs number 31 ride, as he tries to hold on to that 4th position. Melvin Branger, one of his teammates, working down to his inside, but now contact there between himself and another teammate, and no caution flag as of yet. Dylan Carrier goes around, no yellow flag out there on the racetrack, and for that 31 ride of Dylan Carrier, a heartbreaker right there, as that's going to slide him back into the 8th position, and now 10 seconds back behind our race leader, Matthew Wood. Wood has a sizable lead once again already built up between himself and Trenton Johns, as Johns rolls there in position number 2. Noah Blackwell trying to hang on to that 3rd position. Almost went around right there, especially after the contact made between himself and Dylan Carrier, but luckily enough able to keep that NJP Designs grind pointed in the right direction and keeps on rolling there in that 3rd spot. The 00 ride starting to roll up towards the front of the field here once again as well. Michael Durham Jr. definitely showed some speed early on in this race, and that Little Caesars ride trying to join that top 3 here as he looks down low underneath the 18 of Noah Blackwell for position number 3 on the speedway. Jonathan Gaston, one of our iRacing dirt side of things. He's one of the, one of those drivers that guys really look to when we come to these dirt track races here on the Premium Stock Car Racing League to do well. And late in this race, starting to push that Scott Bloomquist-inspired ride up towards the front of the field as he rolls there in that 5th position. Melvin Brangruer back there at 6th with Danny White there in 7th. Dylan Carrier back into the 8th position now is Farrell Robbins, Logan Perryman, William Connolly, and Michael Ponder Jr. all down pit side as the caution flag will come back out on the racetrack. The 00 gonna run into some problems. Heavy front end damage here again for him is Michael Durham Jr. Gonna have an issue here, and the caution flag will come back out. A very lucky break there for Dylan Carriers. He'll be able to rejoin the battle up towards the front of the field. As down low, that 00 looking for a big run, ends up sliding in there a little too far. Makes some contact there with Noah Blackwell. They make contact again. Blackwell keeps on rolling, but that 00 goes around back up the racetrack and going to collect the 89 ride there as well. As nowhere to go for Melvin Brangruer. Brangruer slides into it and ends up with some pretty solid contact there himself down out of corner number 4 and on the front straightaways. See that contact, and unfortunately both these drivers get timed together again up the speedway right in front of the 89. Really nowhere for him to go, just trying to avoid it there, and fishtailing unfortunately slides that side of the 89 into that 00 and goes around himself there. So the caution flag back out onto the racetrack, going to stack these drivers back up, and again another restart here for Matthew Wood to try to keep these drivers back there at bay. As Aaron Robinson says, Aiden, prayers up for you and your family, man. Oh, brother, I didn't know there was something happening there with Aiden. Hopefully everything is A-okay, and if there's something serious going on, our prayers are definitely there for Aiden Lucas and his family here this afternoon, brother. I don't know what's happening, but hopefully it's nothing but good news from here on out. Hopefully nothing but things getting better for you and your family, brother, as hopefully everything is A-okay. As Texas Kelva says 31, sent it, laugh out loud, says oopsie, yes sir, oopsie out there on the speedway for Dylan Carrier, for Logan Perryman, for all these drivers here except for really Matthew Wood. He's the only driver out there that hasn't really had any issues. He's got a little right side damage there. That's after just banking that rear end off that outside wall, slinging it out there and getting a piece of the fence there a couple of times. No harm, no foul, just cosmetics there for that 16 ride, but contact again on the restart as Gaston goes for the big slide job there, just barely clears the nose of that 28 right at Trenton Johns. Johns now trying to battle back here as they're 3 wide here at Eldora Speedway. The ARCA cars 3 wide down and out of corner number 4. The 18 unfortunately going to slide a little farther backwards right there. Did not get the drive off the bottom side that he was hoping for, and now the 72 with Jonathan Gaston racing his way back into that second spot. His time to shine out there on the speedway. As here we go, that 00 and the 31 both looking to try to race their way back up inside the top 3 as Trenton Johns and Noah Blackwell door to door for position number 3 on the speedway. They're trying to hunt down our race leader and our second place driver, Jonathan Gaston. We talked to Gaston early in this race about potentially trying to save some tire here for late in this one, and he said he may have some tricks up his sleeve here. And here you go, that G-Man himself racing his way up to the front of the field. The Gaston's iRacing Graphics Old Dogs ride now rolls in position number 2 and trying to hunt down Matthew Wood. Wood continue to roll that inside lane though to perfection, kind of bouncing back and forth from up high to down low, but keeping that car pointed in the right direction, doing a fantastic job here. And now he's going to have that 72 ride once again right back underneath of him here for another late race restart. As the caution flag coming back out, this time it's Trenton Johns. Johns going to run into some problems here, or potentially have someone around him run into some problems, as the 31 at Dylan Carrier, who's got real life racing experience here on dirt, gets a little loose on corner exit, comes down the racetrack, unfortunately just hooks this 28 right around. Unfortunately, looks like both drivers battling here hard. Unfortunately, looks like 31 coming down, the 28 kind of coming up, obviously not expecting the 31 ride to be down that low off the fence here, and unfortunately just some pretty solid contact there into that right rear quarter panel, and Just going to turn that Transformers M&M's right around up into the outside fence. Pretty solid contact there for Trenton Johns as he backs in there a couple times. Getting that damage, hopefully going to try to get that car repaired and back out there onto the racetrack. See if he can try to race his way back up inside the top 3. As late in this race, Matthew Wood getting ready for another restart now with Jonathan Gaston right there to his back bumper. There's only 3 more laps left to go here in this one. The Premium Stock Car Racing League All-Star Race about to come to a close. Who will be the winner here this evening and earn the payday? Brought to you by NJB Designs as the 16 quickly back onto the lap pedal down at a corner number 4, trying to hold off Gaston, trying to hold off all these other competitors and looking to put himself up and into the Eldora Speedway victory lane as the 16 down through corner number 3, nice and easy out at corner number 4. He will see the twin sticks from our flag man. 2 more laps left to go here from Eldora Speedway. He just does not want to see that caution flag, does not want to see another restart here this afternoon as Gaston trying to hold on to that second spot. Blackwell back there in 3rd, Dylan Carrier there in 4th, Michael Durham Jr. rounding out our top 5 is down across the line. We will see that white flag fly. Our final lap around the racetrack here for Matthew Wood in the Premium Stock Car Racing League All-Star Race. Down into corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. It's the Racers for Christ, number 16, the NJB Designs ride of Matthew Wood, who will pick up the win here in our Premium Stock Car Racing League All-Star Race as he'll get the job done and pull himself up and in to the Eldora Speedway victory lane here this evening as they're going to wreck around him here. Some drivers try to congratulate him, some drivers try to show their displeasure. The 28 ride slamming into the 72 machine of Jonathan Gaston. More contact post-race here as it's looking a little bit more like a demolition derby here after this checkered flag. The 89 ride in the the 89 definitely showing his displeasure here with that 28 of Trenton Johns. We saw Trenton trying to show his displeasure with the 72 ride as frustration starting to boil over here late in this race. And after the checkered flag, driver was definitely trying to get a little payback out there as we see our race winner, the driver that was the reflection of perfection all afternoon. He's celebrating out there on the speedway. Obviously not able to burn down the house here, but definitely slinging some mud out there on the speedway all evening and will now pull that Racers for Christ number 16 up and into the Eldora Speedway victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for your race winner, Matthew Wood. Wood able to get it done and pick up the dub here this evening. Let's see some congratulations up into the chat right now. And if you guys enjoyed that racing action, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family today and turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming as we'll get ready to pull in our top 3 drivers here this evening. Is my boy Cody J. Horton. Cody coming in showing the love over there on Facebook, coming in with that heart reaction. How are you, Cody? How are you, Mr. Horton? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day, brother. Good to see you up in the chat showing the love here in this one and dropping that heart reaction. Cody Horton, one of the boys coming in showing the love here this afternoon as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and in to the broadcast booth here this afternoon for their post-race interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for who's usually our pace car driver, Matthew Wood, here into victory lane. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
What's up, buddy?
Not much, Matthew. We talked to you there during our warm-up session, the intermission between that heat race where we saw you lead all 50 laps and pull yourself up and into the winner's circle for picking up that heat race win. Now you go out there for the feature event, and it's more of the same. The 16 right out in front, being that reflection of perfection all evening long and picking up a big dub here in the Premium Stunt Car Racing League's All-Star Race, man. Take us through this one. What's going through your mind right now as you park that 16 right up and in the Eldora Speedway victory lane?
Yeah, it was tough. I just thought cautions were just so annoying. I'll say that. It was very annoying. But just to have race with people as fast as Dylan and Gaston, and I mean, even Noah was quick, especially I mean Michael, Trent, and Logan, and I mean they were all really really quick. So to be able to do that against those guys is just really an honor. Just being 16 when you're racing against guys like that, it's a big confidence booster. But I mean, it just felt like every time I'd pull away, another caution would come out within 2 laps, and it's just like, we've got to fix that for next time. But overall, when we weren't under yellow, it was very fun. Finding different lines. Of course, the top lane in 3 and 4 wasn't working, so you have to migrate, figure out which line's better. Eventually, the bottom started getting slick, so you have to go lower and lower and lower and lower. But yeah, I've been working on dirt racing quite a bit over these past couple months. I just seem to enjoy it alongside road racing. Of course, I still like oval racing, but that and rally, I love rally. It's quite fun, but overall, pretty fun race. Fun racing with the guys up there and slinging that right rear on the outside wall.
Absolutely. Well, that's the main thing out there, brother. Having some fun on the simulator, enjoying your afternoon out there on the racetrack, and it's always that much better when you get to pull yourself up and into victory lane. As Matthew, I know obviously not racing a lot here this year with us anymore, but being able to jump in here and have some fun for the All-Star race and right back up and into the Premium Stock Car Racing League victory lane here, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance in joining us again here in the series and right back up into victory lane like we saw so many times last year?
Yeah, I just got to thank Josh for letting me come back and doing these super speedways, and of course, even off the super speedways on the pace car now, they let me do that, and that's again, we have a little change in that that's going to, I think, be pretty cool. So just thank him. I try to help the league as much as I can because these guys are genuinely, they treat me like family. We all treat each other like family. We get angry. There's a lot of anger tonight, but it was fun overall. And of course, Noah for making my paint scheme. Gaston's made paint schemes in the past. West Virginia boys got 1-2 again, baby. West Virginia boys 1-2. So that's the thing that excites me most. But yeah, thank my family. Of course, I'm in a new house now. Probably different from what you've seen, Aaron. So that's why it may look a little different. Don't have die casts up yet. They're in bunch of boxes over there, so but yeah, I just thank again my family for doing what they do, all my friends for supporting me, and thank the Lord for what he has done and what always will.
Absolutely. Well, a great run and a great drive here all afternoon out of you, Matthew, as you do got that webcam fixed up here. We didn't realize that as throughout the race, I know early on you had it back there behind you, giving us a really cool perspective there of you racing out there on the speedway, and then throughout that feature event, the camera had fallen over and it was showing a bit for your one monitor, but nonetheless, man, we appreciate you having that webcam turned on, giving us that view. We saw it there a little bit during our interview there after the heat race, and now we see up there once again looking beautiful on the broadcast, smiling there and enjoying a big win here this evening, brother. And a huge thank you for jumping out there, having some fun, and showing these drivers around the racetrack here this afternoon.
Oh, thank you for doing such a good job. I realized I think it was in 1 and 2, and then I heard it flop next to me. I was like, please have a caution really soon. That first caution, after it fell over, I was able to put it back up there. I was talking to Dylan. I was like, Dylan, I might be all over the place here, but just bear with me for like 10 seconds while I get this on. But yeah, I think I'm going to start running that more. That was a pretty cool view. Of course, I'll have diecast in the back and everything now. But yeah, hopefully I can go a little bit further, and me and Aiden have some plans for upper series things, and hopefully we can go on with that. Of course, Aiden had to miss tonight. It sucks, but I'm sure he had a lot of fun watching this.
Absolutely. He was tuning in, cheering you guys on out there. I know he wanted to be a part of it and looking for that 5th win in a row. He'll have to rejoin us again next week and see if he can keep that streak alive here, and seeing him back out there on the racetrack and the rest of these amazing drivers with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As Matthew, congrats on the win. Congrats on the great race. Hopefully we'll see you back out there for a few more of these events and hopefully a few more times making trips up here into the broadcast booth.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, brother.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Matthew Wood. Is Wood coming home there with the victory here this afternoon, picking up that win and pulling that number 16 machine up and into the broadcast booth. As we'll get ready here to, he pulled himself up into victory lane there, and we pulled him into the broadcast booth, and now we're going to get ready to pull in our second place finisher out there on the racetrack, Jonathan Gaston. Gaston coming home there in second. Let's get him up here into the booth right now. Hey, Jonathan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
I got you.
John, man, a great run, a solid drive out there on the speedway for you, man. Obviously, a few issues, a lot of bumping and bang, and a lot of back and forth battles out there on the speedway. Obviously, some frustrations boiling over late in this race, man. But take us back through this one, and what's going through your mind right now as you're able to come home and cap this one off with a solid second-place run?
I'm still trying to figure out how I got up to second. I struggled all night with this new wheel. I got to figure out a way to make this thing quicker. So if anybody out there runs a Fanatec, send me a message. But yeah, it was a tough night. Did a lot of bumping and banging. I felt bad. I got into Melvin a couple times there. He's mad at me. Nothing was intentional. This is just dirt track racing, Rubbin's racing, and when your elbows up in these cars, they're loose anyway, and just the most gentlest nudge, you're going around. It's just a product of the dirt track and a product of these cars. And once they start going, you can't save it.
Absolutely. They're not built like a dirt street stock out there on the speedway. They're no, 3,500 or 3,200 pound, racing machine out there on the speedway that can take and handle that beating and banging and still keep them pointed in the right direction. These things seem like they're very light on their feet. And as you said, that little bump, that little bit of contact can turn one around in a quick hurry.
That's for sure. A custom setup might have helped a little bit, but we were just on the stock setup. These cars are a lot of fun, though. It's just going to take a little bit more of everybody getting used to it. I hope we run these cars next season. I think it'll pull a lot of newer people into the league and help us grow this thing.
Absolutely. Would definitely be very, very exciting. I think right now these are probably one of the hottest cars out there on the simulator, so definitely would be a very, very good league in a quick hurry, and adding a lot of drivers that I know want to jump in there. I've already gotten multiple messages from other people asking about different leagues that could be starting up with these ARCA cars and everything else, and it's going to be wild to see what these things can do in the future. But man, here tonight, a lot of great racing action, a lot of beating and banging, battling out there on the speedway. You pull yourself up here onto the podium here at Eldora Speedway. John, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this afternoon?
I always like to thank my wife. She's in there. My son's on a different level today. He had a treatment yesterday, and he's kind of reacting a little different than he normally does. He's very wild. So I'd like to thank her, tell her I love her. Thank for my students who watch me, my teammates who support me. And just you for doing this broadcast, and Josh for putting this on. I know there wasn't a whole lot of guys here tonight, but I still think we put on a pretty good show for everybody out there.
Absolutely. Was definitely a great show. Some great racing out there on the speedway, and we can't wait to see you guys back out there on the racetrack next Saturday night, back onto the asphalt as we'll head to New Hampshire here next Saturday, and hopefully see you right back up here in the broadcast booth, John, and hopefully see you right up and in victory lane yourself.
I hope so. I'm going to definitely turn a lot of laps this weekend, try to get this wheel dialed in, and hopefully we'll be up in the front looking for a W.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Gasson, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, enjoy the rest of your night, and hopefully we'll see you back up here and getting that wheel figured out and back up into the broadcast booth next Saturday.
Will do. Take it easy.
Alrighty, Jonathan Gaston, Mr. Gaston there coming home in position number 2 here this afternoon. A solid run and a solid drive there out of that 72 ride as Jonathan Gaston comes home in that second spot. Now we'll get ready to pull in our third place driver, our third and final podium member here this afternoon. It is the 18 rider Noah Blackwell, the NJP Designs ride, the driver who came in as not only a driver but also a sponsor here tonight, putting in some extra money on the line for these drivers to spice things up here this evening in these ARCA rides here at Eldora Speedway, and putting up a little bit of money and being the sponsor here for this all-star event. Huge shout out there to NJP Designs and Noah Blackwell for the sponsorship. And now coming home in third, let's get him up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Noah, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy? Hey Noah, it's Aaron up here in the booth. Do you get a copy? Let's give him a minute here, chat. Maybe he's taking a pee break or something. Let's give him a minute here. See when he comes back here. Right now, a little AFK. He's away from his keyboard right now, and hopefully he'll jump in here any moment, and we can get him in for his post-race interview in the Bad Dragon number 18 machine as he comes home in that third spot. Man, the beautiful NJP Designs rides out there. A lot of them running into issues. A lot of them looking very, very good, fresh and fast out there on the speedway. Blackwell, one of them, and right there in contention all evening long. Had a couple tough breaks himself, but finds himself here rounding out our top 3, and hopefully we'll get him up here into the booth. Hopefully he's watching on his cell phone or something. Hopefully we'll see him jump up in here in just a couple more moments for his post-race interview. Noah says he's talking. You're talking. Well, we don't hear you, Noah. Let me see if we can move you into a different room here and see. Noah, do you get a copy?
Hello?
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, we got our fix there. I don't know why it doesn't let you talk in there. That's interesting. Nonetheless, brother, a solid run, a very fast car all evening long, but you ran into a few issues just like pretty much everybody else except for Matthew Wood here this afternoon, and you're able to battle back and come home with a solid top 3 performance here this evening, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you round out our podium.
I wish I just could have caught those 2. That's all I wish. I wish I could have caught those 2. It would have been fun. But no, I had a lot of fun. I'm not a dirt guy. I'm not good at dirt, so I'm really happy with where I finished and all that. Feel bad for Dylan though, because I did basically ruin his shot during him that one time on accident. Because I raised my FOV for that restart because I kept on not being able to see the person on my right when I was on the bottom. I didn't want to wreck anyone. And I was not used to that. And then the car tried to kill me. So, no, I had fun, though.
Hey, man, that is the main thing out there on the racetrack, especially on a night where there's no points or anything else, just a little bit of bragging rights here and honestly a little bit of money that you put up yourself here with njpdesigns.com. But other than that, just, having fun, enjoying your time on the simulator and enjoying this little bit of mid-season break here and having the all-star race and just spicing things up a little bit on the afternoon here for the premium stock car racing rides. And that's what it's about, man. Having fun, having a good time, and enjoying your afternoon. And that's exactly what it looked like a lot of drivers were doing. Obviously, there was definitely some frustrations that were starting to boil over there late in this race. Driver is not happy with how they were either being ran or the contact that was, being produced out there on the speedway. Probably not used to that on a weekly basis out there on the asphalt.
Yeah, Dylan was saying he's not going to lift for anybody, and then Trent and his friends, the 00 and the 88, they were all getting pretty pissed off at everybody. So that was all fun. Usually I'm the hothead, and I was pretty stoned. I didn't get too hot tonight. Okay, I stayed calm.
Well, that is always a good thing, Noah. I know you've gotten into some issues, definitely keying up and saying the wrong things at the wrong time, and having to deal with those punishments. But so far here this year, maybe maybe getting a little bit more age into you here, and maybe starting to realize that keeping your mouth a little shot, bite your tongue, and not causing any extra trouble for yourself is sometimes the best way to go about things out there on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Noah, a great run and a solid drive here for you this afternoon, as definitely a big rebound afternoon for yourself. Obviously, a couple times getting tied up in incidents, getting some pretty solid damage there on that 18 ride, but bouncing back and parking yourself up here on the podium, man. Who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out here this evening?
First, what'd you think of the wood car?
The wood car was pretty nice. It looked really good out there on the speedway. I couldn't quite tell from a distance whether it was wood or dirt, but
It was real dusty.
yeah. But after Matthew told us that it was a wood car for Matthew Wood, it was definitely fairly ironic and pretty funny, and definitely looked really good out there on the speedway.
I'd like to thank my family, of course, you for putting on a good show. We did a really good job this week. I think it was a pretty good race. I don't know about I haven't watched it back yet, but I'm pretty sure you did an amazing job like you always do. I will not be here next week. I will be off at Sonoma. So best of luck to everybody at New Hampshire. I wish I could run it because I love that track, but yeah.
Well, brother, it sucks that we won't see you out there on the racetrack next Saturday night, but man, enjoy your time down there in Napa Valley at Sonoma Speedway and being able to watch the NASCAR drivers duke it out there in real life. And hopefully, you get some cool pictures, some cool experiences, and have yourself a wonderful time down there. We'll see you back out there on the racetrack in a couple weeks' time.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Noah Blackwell as Noah coming home in position number 3 here this afternoon. A very solid run and a great drive there out of that number 18 machine here. The NJB Designs ride here this afternoon. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here this evening. A huge shout out to each and every one of our drivers that jumped out there on the racetrack and made this all-star race such an amazing race here this evening. A huge shout out to all the fans in the stands, everyone tuning in, showing the love here throughout the evening. I can't thank you guys enough for showing the love here, all the likes, the comments, the shares, everyone coming in, all the new followers and subscribers. I can't thank each and every one of you enough, and can't welcome you guys enough to the Peacemaker family. As we'll catch you guys all back in here tomorrow afternoon as we'll go back to Green Flag Racing, a new series getting started tomorrow night, so you'll want to make sure you have those bell notifications turned on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. You never miss out on the racing action here on the channel. But we'll catch you on the next one. Thank y'all for watching. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US, and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
trapped in tight, Betty V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound, seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips,